So good morning, we're out in the River Eden today, which is a nice change, and it's quite unexpected because I didn't intend to come here. Now I absolutely love the Eden. It's a river I've fished before, never for salmon. Well, actually no, that's not technically correct. I did have one attempt fishing for salmon when I was totally clueless, so we won't even count that one. So I've been here 4 or 5 times in the past. When I first got back into fishing, this is where I started coming over, and I really liked it. And I liked it not for the fishing, although it is like a really interesting piece of river. But I just liked it for the setting. It's an absolutely gorgeous place, and it's really peaceful, and it's one of the nicest places that I've ever fished. So it's about 6 inches above summer low at the moment. In the ideal world, it might have had another foot in, but you know what it is, where this is located on the River Eden itself, I think this is not a bad shout today because there is good holding water here. So where I'm at is in the middle stretches of the River Eden. So this is generally where the fish will hold over summer. So it can't hurt to have a cast for the salmon today. And yeah, I just hope I've made the right choice. Normally, when I'm faced with a choice of being in one place or the other, I always choose the wrong one. So let's hope that that little change of mind last night on the road was fortuitous, and we might encounter some in silver today. So today is not even as much about the fishing as it is normally. Basically, Carla is not being very well, and this is absolutely one of her favourite places in the world. You know, she knows the way. It's a very, very private beat of fishing. I don't think there's a public footpath runs through, so it means that it's I'll go down this way and have a look. It means that it's really peaceful and really tranquil, and Carla is just like such an anxious animal. It's like a sensory deprivation tank for Carla. But she's like just totally perked up. She had all last week, she was really ill, and she was off her food, and to be honest I thought she might be done for. But we've had a bit of a change to our diet, and she's now on the raw food. This is not the way to go. Oh, it looks well though. It definitely looks well. That right there is a holding pool for sure. And with all that fresh water, there's a good chance to be some fresh fish in it. So I'm just going to try and be positive, because like I say, they could do with another foot in, but you know, you never really get ideal conditions. Yesterday was the day of the falling spate, so to speak, and it dropped off a foot yesterday. Look at this, man. How nice is it here? I've never been in summer before, in like high summer. It's now about the middle of August. It might be the 15th of August, 14th of August, something like that. So it's interesting to look at this water with different eyes. Last time I fished here, I've been thinking about trout, and now I'm looking for salmon. There's plenty of good water to fish, and there's more above the viaduct, so it goes on right above where that field of sheep is. But what I'll do, I'll fish this part here underneath the falls, and I mean that could well be a salmon in there. Like, anyway, I'll fish this part here. I'll fish back down to the van, and then I'll put Carla away, and then after lunch I'll go and fish that part up there. So this pool here is very deep. There's bedrock ledges out here, and then it just drops right away. And it's holding water if ever there was holding water. You can absolutely see plenty of salmon being potted up in here. Tell you what, the tranquility is to die for here. There's no road noise at all. Can't hear any traffic. All I can hear is birds in the river. Yeah, cut up here. We'll try and have a cast in at the tail of this pool. So we'll sneak up here. There's a nice bottom of gravel and sand here, it's lovely. Stay there. Stay. Yep, you're in here. So let's go off. Oh, I thought that was a salmon. Carla, stop distracting me. So I caught this rather lovely trout and I put up a real scrap. It's a real little beauty. I got a cracking fight of that fish, but unfortunately the GoPro didn't turn itself on. There's 8 gooseanders. Like a smolt death squad. Each one capable of eating 30 to 40 smolts every single day. So I've always found this really interesting. It's seats that are carved into the sandstone. And there's definitely like a table going on there for gatherings, I guess. Right opposite the caves on the far side. It's a lovely spot to take shelter from the rain, which has got quite strong. Well, it looks like I'm stuck under this rock for a while because that rain has been coming down for about an hour now. It's getting brighter, but the rain doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. I think when I'm trapped under here, I might as well have my lunch. So I ran back up to the van, got a bag with some food. Full-bodied with dark chocolate overtones. Perfect. How's this going to work? I'm just going to have to hold it and more than likely burn my fingers. Yep. Looking forward to trying this. Oh, that's very nice. Ah, very nice indeed. Lovely. That'll do the job. Well, I may be stuck in a cave, but at least I'm comfortable. And it's definitely easing up now. I think this is the last remnants of the rain shower. Ah, that's nice. Needed a hot drink. It's still mizzling away. I don't really want to get drenched today. I think eventually I'm just going to have to get on with it. And I kind of suspect I might not be catching a fish anyway. It was definitely a speculative cast, this one. I didn't get the impression that there's more salmon on the east coast than there is on the west coast. On my last trip over here, I fished a perfect water and I did not see a single fish. When I've been at home fishing the North Tyne, I've always seen fish. Like, might not have caught them, but I've always seen them. The drizzle's pretty persistent, so I'm just going to bite the bullet and go for it here. We're going to go right to the top of the beat and we're going to fish what is supposed to be the best fly water. Remind me to come back and get my bag later on. There they are, look, the death squad. Yeah, bunch of bastards. Right, it's going to be a leap of faith here. Obviously there'll be nettles where I'm going to put my hands, because that's just par for the course. nice. There, we just slip in there. This looks good, this pool. So I'm on an intermediate tip. I think it's quite shallow here. Ah, cracking bit of water. It feels fishy. I mean, I haven't seen any signs of a fish, but it feels like fishy. It feels like taking water, like a fish just resting here after coming up that thin stuff below. It feels like it would just sit here and it might take, but whether or not there are any fish around or not, I don't know. You'd like to think so, because conditions over the last few days have been really good. So I don't know what the Eden fish is like. I say I've never ever seen a salmon on the time that I've been on the water here. But obviously I'm absolutely far and away from being an expert. I don't understand this river at all, to be honest. That trout I caught this morning was the best fish I've caught off this river. And you know, when you're salmon fishing, it's a fluke, so you can't really claim it. But it was nice to see it. It really did give a good scrap. It was a very commendable effort for a fish of about 1.25 pounds. I just had a spirited little brownie on and off there, that's why I turned the camera on. Oh, my heart's going because I thought it was a sea trout. It was a really aggressive take. Wow, I was really in the zone there as well. You know, when you're really focused and you're in there, you're almost seeing the fly in the water. And then next thing you know, I was in, and it's very exciting. It's still more exciting than Russian hookers. I brought my A game with the casting as well today for a change. I feel like I need to cast well into this nice water. I would imagine when there are salmon around, this is a really good place to be. But I'm still not convinced that there are salmon around. Normally they do like to show themselves, like, you know, what I found is that if you spend a couple of hours fishing, it's very easy not to see a fish. But if you're on the river all day, it's sort of hard not to see salmon. They do give themselves away. That was a lot of trees. God, a bit lifeless at the end of this pool, like. So I had to cut out the last couple of 100 yards because it was just a slow, still pond, basically. And the only way to do anything was there's a bit of flow on the other bank, but I was going to have to wade across halfway into the middle, and it was deep and muddy. And I'm all right about that. I'm just having a cast around the footings of the viaduct. Don't know whether it's very productive, and it's very slow. It's canal-like, if anything. So the rain has come back with an absolute vengeance. And this viaduct pool is very slow. This could definitely do with another foot in it. I've switched to size 14 orange Irish shrimp. Jesus, the rain's persistent, like I'm absolutely soaked. I would imagine there's enough fallen already to rise the river an inch or two. You know, you think you might see a few fish getting excited. So I'm having the last few casts into the tail of this, and then I think I'm going to call it a day. It's just not going to stop raining, although saying that, now that I say that, it does look a lot brighter. But there isn't any bloody salmon. I haven't seen a fish all day, other than a couple of decent brownies. Been very, very devoid of action. Well, I've had to retreat to the van. The rain started lashing down again. It's been such a wet bloody day. So it's now 6:45, so I started roughly 6 o'clock. That's a good 12 hours of fishing. I've seen the grand total of 2 fish, not touched a thing other than a couple of decent brown trout. It's rising fast, it's getting coloured, so it's pointless fishing on. It's a good time to call it a day.